Episode 7. Just finished it. All right. Probably my favorite ending. Yeah, maybe I'll have to add that at the end here because it was really cool. That was the 7th, and was I gave the date. It was February 11th this year, 2026. So I forever, I forever follow me. Forever I've been using to get the thumbnails for YouTube. I've been taking a screen grab, essentially, whether it's the drone, taking a picture. Well, it wasn't even a picture. Taking a video, and then me grabbing a screenshot from that screen grab. The action cam, whether it's the GoPro, the 360, and now the Action 6. I would take a screenshot from it. And one of the things I liked about it was, one, it was already in front of me. I could just grab it. And then the other thing, even on this channel, I don't like, what do you call it? Clickbait. So a lot of my talking head videos is just me for the thumbnail, because I don't want people to think it's something else. And then, it's not me. Like, I don't know why this came to my head, but it's not me on like sitting on a volcano talking when you click the video and it's me in the man cave talking to you, because I don't want people to click. And I know that to do YouTube right, it would have to be the most extravagant, like crazy thumbnail just to get the click. But I don't care for that. I do not care I do not care for that one bit. Golly, man. Anyway, so that's one of the reasons why I try to portray exactly what the video is about. Anyway, we'll leave that alone. So I grab a screen grab, which is a 16:9 aspect ratio. I talked about wanting to get better at thumbnails. Not everyone, but because it takes time. But I want to practice on this channel, or to get better at photography in this craft. I'm able to use this instead of capturing a screenshot and actually thinking what I want to do. So this particular video, kind of do a discussion, a little bit behind the scenes of a thumbnail shoot, where I'm telling the story about can you photograph pressure? Can you do that, or can you? And that's one of the things, like invoking emotion or telling a story through something. But I wanted to be more of storytelling, and that's really what I enjoy about this channel, is to be able to do some storytelling. Although it's maybe a journey on my way to, creating, imagery or something like that when it comes to, I say, photography, but videos and drone shots are going to be in here too, and stuff like that, to tell the story. The bulk of it, I want to be a photographer. I want to learn how to be a better photographer, or a photographer in general. So I went to the garage and I got the motorcycle, obviously, there, and I brought props that I think I would need. So low denomination dollar bills, right? Couple dollars, and a $5 bill, some change. Pennies were important. Pennies, matchsticks, bills, an envelope for like a bill. And matchsticks would be like burning the candle on both ends, one of those deals. And a pack of nabs, one of those things, like, so like eating cheap and stuff like that. And then I had a picture of the GoPro and stuff. So I went to the garage, I filmed all this process. I got a bunch of pictures. Lighting was an issue, learning how to take the right angle, the bike being on the kickstand so it slides down, the money wouldn't stay on the tank, because I really, in my head, I had this great picture, and I don't necessarily have the correct equipment to be able to do all this professionally, but I still can do it to the best of my ability at my current stage, my level. What happened was, there's one particular moto vlogger that I was watching, and she, in particular, her story, she does YouTube for a living. And I used to think that it was awesome. It sounds great to create for a living, right? To create YouTube videos, or fill in the blank of some sort of creativity, or people that write books, artists that paint, whatever. So fill in a blank outside of photography, write music, all this other stuff. So I used to think that'd be cool to do that, to essentially make a living, not now, but when I retire, and just do YouTube. And she was, you could see it. She was talking about how it has a physical toll on her, how it bothered her mentally and emotionally. Well, that's the thing, mentally and physically. I'm sorry. And I was like, all right, well, how do I photograph that? It was funny because, like I said, when I took the picture, I had got my lens as close as I could to get everything in the right composition. But what I didn't realize, and this is a mistake that I learned, what I didn't realize, like I said, I come from the world of 16:9. To get that 16:9 to go on the thumbnail, didn't realize that the photos they're a 3:2. So when I cropped in to make that a 16:9 aspect ratio, it zoomed in too much. I lost what I wanted to capture because I had already zoomed in too much. I goofed up because in pictures in the past that I've taken, usually it's a screenshot from the drone, for example. That's like my tripod, that I've referenced before. But that drone is still a video. So when I take that screen grab from that, it fits on a 16:9 aspect ratio. But when I take a picture, it's a 3:2. And I was like, I had no idea. I had no idea because I come from the world of action cameras and in video, essentially. So seeing that was a difference where now I have to learn. I couldn't zoom in anymore because I zoomed in enough to capture the seat, the items on the seat, and I wanted to get the tank, the motorcycle tank, some handlebars so you can see what it is, the brick, the back of my fireplace on the garage side so that you see the brickwork and stuff, and then my dog's slightly out of focus. Which is awesome and gets to be a part of the thumbnail or whatever, the final product. But shooting at 3:2, I can't zoom in anymore or start cutting off important parts. So now going forward, if I want to take a picture, I got to be out a little bit so that when I crop in to fill the void to make it a 16:9, it'll fit properly. So I showed the goof. And I showed how I mitigated that, and had a background I think it was like marble, just a little texture, darken that down so it wasn't pitch black bars on the side, but it was also not going to pull your eye away from it. So it's very subtle. And then on the motovlog channel, there's people are not going to really critique, the image and stuff and probably see it. It's just, obviously that's not what you're really looking for. And then the last thing about that was in my head, I was really excited to do it. And setting these things up is a lot more time consuming than I ever thought, especially if I had lighting. I don't have lighting. I'm trying to use natural light more so in the garage. But in my head, I had this great image. It was going to be awesome. And then when I actually got there, the pennies were falling off the tank. Nothing was staying on. Obviously, it's on its side as kickstand. If you could hold it up, if I could have used, maybe a magnet or tape on one side to get the envelope, the bill to be closer to the tank. So in my head, I had this, a better image of what I was trying to get and to portray that stress, that pressure with everyday items, like I said, like money and bills and stuff. And when I took the picture, it was a letdown. I took like 50, 60, 70 pictures. And there's a few that came out like the best. I took those and picked one and edited it in Lightroom. But it's cool because Fallon's in the back. She's out of focus a little bit. But the image is not, it didn't do it justice what was in my head. And I didn't have the exact placement in my head, but it was just interesting. It was kind of a letdown. And it was a combination of my skill, right? Probably first and foremost. It was equipment. This would have been a really good like overhead shot, maybe. Without being maybe not straight down like a two-dimensional, but maybe just a little higher up. Proper lighting would have showed with some sort of diffuser or something, so it's not a glare on the tank. It's just soft lighting. Would have showed the items a little bit better on the dark tank, so some of the items kind of blend in. Maybe I think the GoPro blends in. Yeah, so it was a letdown. The process was a lot of fun, but the overall image was a letdown. But at the same time, it just goes to show like Man, I have so much to learn, and that's kind of how the video ended. And I'll show the ending here, but with the audio as well, not just the B-roll. So that was episode 7. The final picture, thumbnail, whatever, it didn't feel the excitement I had in my head. It still was exciting to do that. The process was amazing. The process was so much fun, but the actual outcome, I was like, man, it was so much better in my head. And I know that it's potentially, it could be equipment, it could be a skill, more so skill. I can get better at it, and that's what this is. Whatever this is, that's what this channel, I assume that's what this channel is about. So super excited to put this together, do the B-roll, do the extra, charging all my batteries, which is awesome. I love that. I don't know why. I'm a geek for charging batteries, and just having fun. I'm having so much fun. I have so much to learn, but this makes me this fills my cup. This fills my cup. Absolutely fills my cup. So many more to come. I told myself I wanted to do 13 episodes on the studio channel, 1 per month, 1 intro, and here I am, episode 7, and it's February 11th. So it's awesome. All right, episode 8. Last few episodes here. Episode 8, it was very interesting day, a couple days. I talk about how I didn't bring my camera to work. I was on the medic, and typically on the medic, you stay pretty busy. An hour, or excuse me, a call comes out for the engine and the medic to go to, let's say an EMS call, chest pain or something. The medic will get there, the engine will get there, do your assessment, travel to the hospital. By the time it's all said and done, hour and 15 passes. When you're on the engine, you might only be on that call for 15, 20 minutes versus hour 20 minutes on the medic. So I was getting in the habit of not bringing my camera to work when I was on the medic. And the ironic thing is, I actually had some free time after 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I could have messed with the camera, took some pictures of the sunset and all that stuff, and practiced some inside photography inside the bay, low light conditions or something, one of those deals. And I didn't bring it. So the following shift, I talk about how I brought it to work on an engine day. And this engine day, I was driving the engine, did the morning chores, did, to check off of the truck, did a little extra, detailed the chainsaw, just do a little extra, try to every day. And I worked out, and there was I think I was just about halfway done eating lunch at 1:07 p.m. and there was somebody rang the doorbell. Get up from the table, the three of us that were on the engine, we go over there, and a gentleman is on the other side of the door, and he says, "Hey, I just want to let y'all know there's some brown smoke coming down the street at one of the businesses down there." I had to cut that out. I don't know. I don't want to say exactly where it was, but and I said, "Oh, you said on such and such street?" And he goes, "Yeah. That one and the cross street." I said, "Okay, yeah, we'll go check it out." And I thanked him, and we're leaving the front door to open the door next to it to get into the bay where the fire truck is, right? Or the engine. So as soon as we open the door to go to the bay, the tones drop for commercial structure fire. So sure enough, somebody called it in after, not him necessarily, but somebody called it in, whether it was a neighbor or somebody passing by. And I was like, all right, well, let's see what we got, right? So I jump in the driver's seat, open the map book, and flip to the page, pick up my hydrant. It's right down the street. I know where the hydrants are, but I have it there set in case we need a second hydrant, or third or whatever. So we turn the corner. We're at one end of the block. We make a right to the end of the block, and we're already on that street. And I kid you not, there was like a brown, tan colored smoke, not black smoke billowing out. There's a difference and all that, but it hadn't vented out all the way and tightened up pretty good. So from the left side of the building to the right side of the building and across the street, wide open street, was just this big plume of smoke, right? And it's going over there, and I turn the corner and I go, well, I guess he wasn't lying. Looks like we got something, right? One of those deals. So I drive down the street, I get my hydrant, and we start deploying 2.5-inch hose. Commercial building, big fire. You know, we're going with a larger diameter hose. Get my supply. We end up getting a deck gun in place. Multiple ladder companies, auto aid, so neighboring cities help and assist us with this fire. And I'll put some pictures in here too, and blur out some stuff that doesn't need to be seen. But it's just funny how intentional you can be on your day. And I love my job. One of the things, get goosebumps. One of the things about my job that's so awesome is you literally can be sitting there, think you have your day planned out, and then 7 hours later, which is what it turned out to be, 7+ hours later, you clear up from the scene. Had to clean up. Some hose got run over by some vehicles, not city vehicles, but citizen vehicles, right? I'll say pedestrian. Ran over some fire hose. I don't know how that happens, but people run over hose, charged and uncharged. I'm not sure how they do it. People have gotten stuck. Actually, this person, she got stuck on the 5-inch hose that was charged. So we had to test some hose. We had to clean some hose. We had clean up the tools, shower, do exposure reports, paperwork, get bottles and all that stuff, and clean the bottles, clean the truck, you know, whatever we needed to do. And by the time everything was done, all said and done, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And engine day, I brought the camera. 26 hours later, because I got to work about 45 minutes early, 30, 45 minutes early, whatever time it was, end up getting another call, going to bed at 3:15, get another call at 5. And that call we were on for hours on end too, for a different reason. But by the time we got back, put in the proper documentation, did the report, all the other stuff, I left home late for the, after shift. So 26 hours later, I grabbed the bag with this camera zipped up. But the whole point of that was bring the camera. Bring your camera. You don't know if you'll be able to use it. I also, as I alluded to in the beginning of this, if you've gotten this far, I went from taking my time to take a photo to be more intentional about it and to really try to capture the right angle, do what I needed to do, slow down, which is one of the reasons I liked photography, to more of a blitzkrieg style. Now I'm not necessarily going to spray and pray, but I'm just going to be taking pictures of a lot of stuff and figure out what works. Best way to learn, Pixel Alley mentioned this too, best way to learn is to get there and shoot. So I'm at that mindset now. As of episode 8, I'm at that mindset where I just want to take as many pictures as I can. And I also found out that the Nikon D5600, I looked up that the shutter life, the shutter itself is rated roughly for 100,000. And you can take a picture, which I've got to do, take that original JPEG, not a raw, not edited or anything like that. Take that JPEG, go to a website, put it in, and the metadata, it'll extract the metadata and tell you how many times that shutter's been pressed, how many pictures have been taken. So I'm going to do that. Curious to see. My buddy's taken quite a bit on this camera. I've taken a fraction of what he's taken. It's almost like it's almost like a roll of film, like an old school camera, an old roll of film where every time you press the shutter, it's costing you money. And especially nowadays, I was talking to my buddy Patrick about that today, and he's got a film camera and talk about how expensive film is nowadays. But really, you could look at it this way. Instead of every time it's not costing me anything to press the shutter, but it's actually costing me the chance to learn by not pressing the shutter. So that was really cool take out of that. But I got pictures of the fire, like I said in that video, episode 8, and bring the camera, bring the camera from now on. Okay, next episode 9 was another behind the scenes or discussion about actually filming. Not even really behind the scenes. It was me filming another thumbnail for the other channel, and this one, I think this is my most popular video as far as views. But it got viewed when you dive into the YouTube studios, it actually shows that it was being, I guess, suggested after other motovlogs. So I talked so much about motorcycles, and the context of this thumbnail was discussing about perfect audio, getting audio, changing from a wired setting from the GoPro to a wireless setting for the DJI Action 6. So Action 6. And I mentioned, moto vlogs and all kinds of like motorcycle stuff. So YouTube put it in a different category than photography, I'm sure. That being said, I didn't have the difference between this thumbnail. I didn't have an idea exactly what I wanted to do. I had several, I knew the concept, but I didn't have a picture in my head of what I wanted it to be. I knew as far as I wanted to have, obviously the mics in place. I wanted to have the Action 6 camera on near the tank or on the tank or something like that on the motorcycle itself, and have the motorcycle in view. So that being said, I took to the garage. I used natural light again because the lighting I have here is fixed to the desk. I do have some small RGB lights, but I ended up using some GoPros in different positions in the garage, filmed from 3 different angles, and 3 different angles. And then I had my camera itself to take the actual pictures and stuff. But it is incredible how long it takes to set things up. And I'm at like the infancy as far as like learning this whole process and everything. But it's like stacking the camera like a wide shot. I don't have enough for a wide, medium, close, but I'll probably, well, right here it is technically, but that camera will end up go away as being part of the prop. But the wide shot, close shot, setting that up and getting that in the right spot, getting the lighting right, taking the picture, getting the right, exposure for the shot. It takes quite a bit, but that whole process is fun. Like filming the process to me is a lot of fun. It takes it it makes it go, 2-3 times as long as it should, technically. But to film this, to document this at this level, it's gonna be pretty cool looking back, I think at least. Even if it's just for me, which is fine. I learned about the whole 16:9 versus the 3:2. So when I took multiple pictures, I stepped back and cropped in later. So I got exactly what I wanted. I learned that, so that was good. I used natural light. It was a nice sunny day, so I opened the garage up about halfway to have a soft light, more of a diffuse light, natural. So I did that. I think I did a decent job with that to get the lighting, proper lighting in there. Didn't need any extra lighting that I don't have, or that I would have to kind of finagle on a tripod and lose one of my tripods that I was actually filming with the GoPro. What else? Let's see, fighting the light, using the sun. I did that. I gave myself, like I said, it was telling a story through a thumbnail. It was about audio, and then I gave myself more leeway by not knowing when I actually took the picture. I like 3 of them. I picked one ultimately, and I was very happy. So this was the opposite effect, where I went from trying to film pressure in a previous video, and I didn't get exactly what I wanted. And in this one, I didn't really know what I wanted. I had a general concept, and the final result was I was very pleased with the final result. So it's cool. This one flip-flopped as far as giving myself more leeway of what to do and go into the moment and figure out what worked and then hit it. And I really like this one. This thumbnail was good.
Got my keys, got my camera, dust on the old backpack. Sun sitting low like it's waiting for me to finally unpack. Every scar, every stupid grin, every half-finished story I'm in. I've been saying one day for years now. Frames I miss just staring at my phone. So I'm racing all this lost time somehow, with a borrowed lens and a heart full grown. Click, breathe, hold it still, trying to fit a whole life in a windowsill. Every shot is like a promise kept, a roll of a lifetime I haven't shot yet. If I chase the light till it's all turned blue, maybe I can learn the world in an afternoon. Click, breathe, yeah, I know it's soon, but a lifelong documentary's coming into view. You laugh, coffee steam in the air. I'm chasing that curl in your lip. Street chalk smeared by the weather. Old man playing cards, talking slick. Tiny kid with shoes untied, waving at a dog as it wanders by. I keep framing all these strangers like I've known them 20 years or more. Every blink feels like it's danger of losing what I came here searching for. Click, breathe, hold it still, trying to fit a hole.
Okay, episode 10. 10 was very interesting. It was like no other episode. It was more of a kind of a call out to other people that it didn't have to just be, it was my story, but it didn't just have to be my story, because I vilified social media. I don't know if I'll ever get back on it. I'm on it. This is, well, that's a weird way to say it. I don't post on Facebook, but I have Facebook. It's mainly for birthdays and invites for, I mean, that's a lot of people do invites on that. I don't get on it. I'll get a couple messages here and there that I'll look at, but Instagram is pretty much just messages, jokes back and forth as far as reels, but I haven't posted anything on that since October 15th. It's in my head. October 15th is the last time I posted on there, but it's toxic. It's fake. Moving on. There's a lot of things in my life that I get, that I'm driven, motivated to do, passionate about something. It's just something that I get obsessed with, maybe borderline obsessed or obsessed. I don't know. And then I let it just kind of like slide through my fingertips. I just kind of let it go. And just as quick as I pick it up, I drop it and I end up doing something else. I talk about a couple things in that episode, and I didn't give it much thought, but I went back to like my childhood and, you know, wanting to be a, you know, professional wrestler for WWF and WWE present day, and, you know, baseball player, football player, basketball player. You know, I cut grass. I did that for a while though. Actually, I did that for like 13 years, but I was looking at a t-shirt business. I was looking at, I didn't talk about this in the video, vending machine business for a solid 3 days. So I dive head first into these things. I don't buy this stuff, but I dive and research and then quickly realize like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do that. So I talk about how much like I get involved with something, but then I end up quitting. I drop it and move on to the next thing. And, I talk about how like photography is like the only thing that I really like, I picked up and I got really, really like passionate about it. And I haven't like deviated from that. If anything, it's just going like it's glowing red hot, you know, as far as that. So I don't ever plan on putting the camera down. I put the guitar down many times. But you know, the camera, I don't plan on stopping. And going back to the social media aspect, and I don't view YouTube. I don't know why, but I don't view YouTube as social media and the toxicity with it, because when I looked at Instagram and I looked at the analytics, and a reason why I don't do YouTube shorts on my channels is because I think YouTube shows like how many people are watching after the first 30 seconds or something. I think that used to count it for a view. I don't really know what it does now, but it uses metrics for 30 seconds. And in Instagram, I don't know what Facebook is, probably the same, but Instagram, it shows how many people are still watching after 3 seconds. And I'm like, nah, this ain't for me. This isn't for me. I don't want that attention span. I'm good. So that's why, one of the reasons why I don't care to cater to that kind of content. You know, I hate that word, but I don't cater to that where I want to try to like hook people and grab people. And a hook is almost like manipulation in a way. And I know I'm probably thinking about it all wrong, but whatever. You got to hook somebody within the first 3 seconds. I'm like, no, I'm just trying to tell a story. So, what else do I have? I talk about there's in my quote here, I said, no better way to ruin someone's creativity than to put numbers behind it. So the amount of likes, the amount of shares, the amount of favorites, the subscribers, you know, all the other stuff. And that's why, like, when I look in this and I talk about, I've had as many as 4 views on as little as 4 views on an episode, the first 9 episodes, and as many as 22. And most people would look at that and balk at that and say like, oh, I'm not doing this anymore. Nobody's watching and all that other stuff. And, that's not the reason why I started this. There's many reasons why I started this channel and got into, obviously into photography and wanted to make this journey to bring those who want to watch, bring them along. And it's funny because I even say that like out of those 4 or 22 views, I always watch my video one time. I don't hit the like. I don't care for that, but I watch it one time. So one, for some reason, I wanted to have a red bar all the way through. When I look at my channel and I see that there's like a half a red bar or something, there's a full red bar. I watch it one time, and it's mainly to make sure that the video like uploaded properly on YouTube. I watch it before it goes to YouTube, but until I actually see it on YouTube, that's why I watch it once. It's not to get the view or the kick of view off or algorithm stuff or whatever. If it was, I would click the like button, but I don't. If I need to see something on it or show a friend something or whatever, I literally download the video on my phone so that I don't click it and watch it again. I don't know. I'm probably the only one in the world that does that, but I do that. Going back to the 3 and 22, it was ironic because that video with me watching it one time has a total of 3 views. So now I have 3 views is my least and 52 is my most now, which I got mixed up with motovlogs in a video. It's just a bunch of motovlogs are what got people to watch that video, and it's not a motovlog at all. It's ironic. But I don't know. Is YouTube trying to do its thing? For some reason I trust the algorithm now more than ever. Maybe I'm just punch drunk at that point. Trusting the algorithm. How weird is that? I think that's it. And then I mentioned at the very end, I said, don't let the outside world ruin your passion. So I repeated that because that is the truth. Don't let the outside world ruin that for you. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. Don't let the outside world ruin that for you. I got goosebumps. I used to have no feelings, and I feel like, I don't know if it's the damn camera is giving me feelings back, or age. Like I said, it was a video about me and photography, but it could be about anything, and it just kind of titled, it was more of a generic video that maybe other people could see for the purpose of that message. Nothing for the channel, nothing to boost the channel or growth or anything like that, or exposure. If I was worried about that, then I'd be doing YouTube shorts. Clearly, I'm not doing that. So I'll hang on to my 4 subscribers and we'll do our thing. But it is now 4:04 in the morning. This was not what I planned it to be. And I got to add B-roll. I want to add things I talk about in these per video, per episode. I want to add B-roll to it. Most of it will probably be silent. It'll just be me doing a voiceover during the B-roll. But I don't plan on doing this again when I hit 20 or 25 or 100. And I know I will get to that many videos eventually. But I don't know. The overall concept of the channel, how much I've learned, what the episodes have been about. If you stumbled across this, and it seems interesting, feel free to leave a comment, whatever. I answer all comments on the other channel. I don't know what this is. This is a journey, and this is just, it's like the tip of the iceberg. This is the start of it. This is, I don't know. I'm just excited to get out there and really kind of, like I said, maybe call it a field trip. I don't want to necessarily call it a field trip, but I'm looking forward to Fallon and I going out and bringing you all along for the process, or eventually, in a year 3000, somebody stumbles up across my channel and sees like the journey from me being 41 till my last days. I plan on doing this, so this is sustainable as long as my hand can hold a camera, and if it's not steady enough, then I guess I have action cameras with stabilization, so we'll go that route. Until the next time, long video, I'm sure. I can only imagine when I put all these together. I was going to edit it, but I think I'm going to call it quits here. And and pick it up tomorrow morning. So y'all take care, bring your camera, and start shooting today. I think that's it. And I remember to hit record every single time. Good night.